Hey guys, good morning and welcome to this next iced coffee date. So today we are going to talk about how to conduct a nutrition audit. So you may have heard me talk about this on Instagram stories, and this is really a foundational piece of my mentorship and our one-on-one coaching because you can't diet forever. You can't just keep cutting calories from your diet. You can't keep exercising more. I always say, what worked in your 20s doesn't necessarily work in your 30s, 40s, and 50s. So you really do need a more planned out approach, a more thought out approach. And this is exactly what we do in the mentorship. So just a quick shout out, mentorship enrollment is open now till Saturday. So if you wanted to work together with me in some sort of capacity, this is one-on-one coaching in a small group setting. Right now we have 5 women signed up. I probably will close the group somewhere in the 10 to 12 range. I really do want to keep it small because this year I am adding a 24/7 access option or like upgrade, I guess. I don't even know how to describe it, but basically this time for the mentorship, anyone who joins has access to me 24/7 over WhatsApp. Of course, if you're messaging me at like 10 o'clock on a Tuesday night, I might not get back to you till the next day, but during normal working hours, you'll have access to me. And I miss this part as far as keeping in touch with my clients because with the mentorships in the past, we didn't have the same type of communication, and maybe it is kind of like the type A personality, like I want to know what's going on with you. Like the more I know about you and your family life, your work life, your mindset, blocks, things like that, the more I can help you. So I added in this component. So we're going to have a small group chat on WhatsApp. We will also have live coaching calls where I will cover content. And I've also changed things up as far as making that content a little bit more bite-sized, because in the past I would have like 2-hour-long calls on like a Tuesday night, and I just think that's a lot to ask of somebody who has a family and you need to make dinner and you need to get ready for school the next day and all those things. So I really wanted to make it a little bit more manageable. So we'll have Zoom calls that will be an hour or less. Like not gonna have you on Zoom all the time. And then we do have a Facebook group and a portal. So long story short, there's just a lot of places to connect and just to know what's going on with you. And really the whole point of the mentorship is for you to create a customized plan for yourself. So it starts off with this nutrition audit, and the nutrition audit is important because you need a starting point. You need to know what the current state of the union is. How much are you eating? Are you weighing and measuring your food? Are you reading food labels? Are you paying attention to portion sizes? Like all of this stuff is really important. And I would say the majority of us are winging it. We're winging it, we're guessing, we're half tracking, we're not being totally honest with ourselves about how much we're eating. But we need to know how much, because from there, that's when you decide if you are going to go into a cut, which is kind of your traditional diet. If you've been under eating for a really long time, like a reverse diet is kind of needed. So you would have to do some sort of reverse diet to get your metabolism to a good, healthy place. Maybe you're staying in maintenance, but you're just going to focus more on food quality, getting good sources of nutrients, strength training as far as changing your body composition, or maybe you're somebody that wants to go into a bulk and you're just focusing on building muscle. And bulking is not, getting like super huge or anything. It's just focusing your training on more strength and adding enough calories to build muscle, because you can't build muscle from nothing. You need those calories and that energy to build the muscle. So the nutrition audit is just really, really important as far as establishing that starting point. Because if you don't know how much you're consuming, like you don't really know where to go from there. And then also another important piece of that is calculating your total daily energy expenditure. So how much energy does your body need based on what you are doing? Like obviously living your life, doing your thing, but based on your activity level as far as fitness goes. So all of this is so, so important to know before you make a move as far as where you're going to go next. And with that nutrition audit, we do build upon that. We go into macros. So how to calculate your macros for your next phase. Nutritional periodization, obviously what I just mentioned, but what phase are you going to go into next? And we actually plan out the whole year for you. So you might go into a reverse, you might go into maintenance, you might go into a bulk, you might go into a cut, but all of this takes time. So we plan it out ahead of you, which really takes the guesswork out of things and sets you up for success in the sense that you do have some expectations about how long this is all going to take. Because because a lot of women want to see these results overnight and they get frustrated when, 2 weeks have gone by and they haven't seen these amazing changes and they quit. So I think with this idea of periodization and planning out the whole year, sets you up for success in that sense that this is going to take 16 weeks out of your life, you know what I mean? Or 24 weeks out of your life. But really like planning it out, and then also planning it around your lifestyle. So planning these different phases for times in your life where they're really going to work. So like, a woman who just had a baby who wants to do a cut, probably like the worst time to do it because you're not sleeping, you don't have a regular schedule, you don't really have the time to meal prep and exercise and all that, and your hormones are just coming off having a baby. So it's just like the perfect storm. But really like timing these phases to perfect times in your life. Maybe not perfect, but times where it's gonna work. So like if you have a crazy job, like I actually had a great one-on-one client or discovery call with a potential one-on-one client. We had this great call, she was all in, and then we started talking about timing, and she was like, this is like the busiest time for my job. Like I'm in fundraising, end of year, we're like all in. And we decided, as much as I wanted to have her as a client, like right now is not the best time for her. She's like, I have to be all in on work. I'm gonna be working 60-hour weeks. I'm not gonna have the extra time to meal prep and exercise and do all the things I wanna do for a cut. So for her, we're gonna touch base, at the new year when things have slowed down at work, but to try to make like a cut or something like that fit into a busy time, that's when you're setting yourself up for failure because it's going to be that much harder. So I know I'm kind of getting a little bit off track here, but just wanted to give you kind of like the method to the madness as far as creating this like ultimate master plan for yourself. And we do take in the macros, the periodization, the hormonal health, some of these more advanced techniques as far as like cycle syncing, intermittent fasting, carb cycling, things like that. So we'll fit those all in and you will come up with a master plan for yourself to basically implement, once the 12 weeks ends. And of course I'm there to help you put this together through the whole 12 weeks. And, I'm teaching you how to calculate macros, how to track them, how to adjust them, teaching you things about hormones. You're going to have so much information, but the whole goal is to pull it all together into this nice, wonderful plan that you just take and run with it at the end. And then also just should mention the 12 weeks does include at-home workouts. You just need 2 sets of dumbbells for them. But they're very much like the Dirty 30 workouts, kind of similar to Strong Made Simple. There is a focus on strength training, but there's also kind of a Metcon in it as well, so you're gonna get like a good sweat in there. They're just full body workouts. You could do the plan as written, you could add it to what you're already doing, but it's just like a nice benefit because you guys know I love fitness and I love strength training and I love CrossFit type workouts, so that's in there as well, and it's a selling point. People love workouts. And then, oh, I got a question. Do you meet people in person? No, I don't do anything in person. Everything's virtual. But like I said, we do have that WhatsApp feature this time around, so we could talk every day if you want, as much as you need me. And then we have the Zoom. So virtually, I will be able to see you and you can see me. So we can have conversations that way too. But no, I don't do any in-person stuff. It's all online. Okay, so let's get into this 10-day nutrition audit because I have rambled on about the mentorship. But if you're interested, enrollment's open now till Saturday and we start Monday the 27th. So if you're interested, get going. Make sure you're on my email list because there's all sorts of emails and information going out. And then you can get all the details in my profile on Instagram. There's a link there which will bring you to a landing page that has so much information about what you're going to learn, what it's all about, and then testimonials. Check out the testimonials. I do have testimonials coming from past mentorship women, so we'll give you an idea what it's all about, and they'll just say how wonderful it is. But really, people love this program, and I love doing this program. I just think there's just a great component as far as the group setting. I mean, obviously you get to work with me, but I really like the group is so great because it's women kind of in the same, position in life, like little kids or kids that are in school, that they're working, they have a lot of things going on, but they still want to be healthy and fit and have their goals. But maybe they've just come to a point where things aren't the way they used to be, they have a baby and things change, or it's harder to get the results they want, or they're doing what they did, 5 years earlier and it's not working. Just those women who just feel like they're stuck, or maybe they have that hormonal imbalance and they're like, I just feel like this is not helping. Like I don't feel great because my hormones are messed up and I'm not getting the results I want because my hormones are messed up. So there's definitely, a lot of things going on there. And I think a lot of us women, we just have like similar things going on, and we can learn from each other. There's so much we can learn. Like I know things, but I don't know everything. And I mean, there's so much that we can offer each other. And I know towards like the end of the mentorship last time, it was only 8 weeks. Or 6 weeks, 8 weeks? I can't even remember. It was shorter. I made this one longer because I just had so much and I crammed it all into the last mentorship. But the ladies started really getting to know each other, and they would like comment on each other's posts. They would give each other, you know, podcast suggestions and books and resources, and it just like really all came together. But you know, like a lot of friendships were made there, and a lot of those women have gone on to our lifestyle group, so we still keep in touch, and it's just been great. So the mentorship is a great place to start. Okay, let's get into this 10-day audit because yeah, I could go on and on about how much I love the mentorship. So 10-day nutrition audit, this is a great starting place. I do this with one-on-one clients and the mentorship ladies. So what you need for this. So you need a digital scale. You could use measuring cups and measuring spoons if you don't want to buy a digital scale, like a food scale. But I just think the food scale is a lot more accurate, and I actually think it's probably easier to use once you figure it out. They have digital food scales on Amazon, at Target, at Walmart. You could go anywhere, and they're probably like $10. They're really not that expensive. The one I bought back in my Design to Fit days when I was like, oh yeah, I should probably like learn how to weigh and measure my food. I've had it since 2016. Still has the same batteries in it, works perfectly, and it measures grams, ounces, milliliters, pounds, everything that you need, and it's like the simplest thing. So measuring, or a food scale, measuring cups, measuring spoons would probably work fine. Myfitnesspal, so there's a free version, there's an upgraded version. The upgraded version does let you track macros, so that's nice, but if you don't want to spend the money and you're just trying this out, the free version is totally fine. You could use another tracking app too. I just suggest Myfitnesspal because that's what we use with our clients, that's what we use with the mentorship. I do think it's most user-friendly, but there's issues about Myfitnesspal too. But there's Chronometer, there's MacroStat, there's like a million apps out there. So just an app that you like and that you can track your food with. And then you also need patience, grace, no judgment, and an open mind, because I do think a lot of us see tracking as, or we can see it as very, very stressful, and there is some judgment behind it, like if you're eating the right things or the wrong things or too much of things, or you know, you ate too many calories or too few calories, or you know, you had a good day, you had a bad day, things like that. So taking the judgment out of this whole process, because really this app is not telling you anything about yourself. It's just data. You are tracking how much you are consuming, how much is going into your body. So don't think about it as, you know, having a good day or having a bad day, and just patience with the process. Like go the full 10 days. I think if you've been tracking your food for a long time, you could probably do 7 days or something like that. But I like 10 days because it gives you a full week, and then it gives you the weekend at sometimes too, because I think a lot of women are quote unquote on track Monday through Friday afternoon, and then Friday night, Saturday, and Sunday are like kind of a disaster. So I want you to go through the whole week and then have a few days that where you're kind of like back to it or whatever it is, just to get an idea of like the big picture. So that's why I have this 10-day thing. Like you could go shorter, but I say go for the full 10 days just to get more data. And that's what all this is at the end of the day. It's just data. What are you currently doing? What is the state of the union? How much are you consuming? So how to do it is, first, you just want to eat like you normally do. You don't want to eat especially healthy. You don't want to leave things out, but you're just going to track everything that you're consuming. So weighing and measuring it, scanning labels if you're just, you know, taking like a portion or whatever, but really taking your time to do it properly. And this is also important because it brings you back to basics in the sense that you are learning what, you know, a half a cup of oats looks like. You're paying attention to what 4 ounces of chicken looks like versus 6 ounces of chicken. So really taking your time to weigh and measure things. And you know, this is not a video about how to weigh and measure. If you go on YouTube, there's a million videos about how to do it. It's really easy. You basically just tear out your scale, put your food on it, weigh it, and enter that into Myfitnesspal. And just a quick tip, when you're entering things from your scale to Myfitnesspal, enter, you know, ounces to ounces, grams to grams. So just keep it consistent. So if you're weighing something in ounces, enter it into Myfitnesspal in ounces. If you're weighing it in grams, enter it into grams in Myfitnesspal. If you're weighing it cooked, enter it into cooked into Myfitnesspal. If it's raw, you're gonna wanna cook it, so you're gonna need to figure that out. So again, this is not a weighing and measuring video, but there's tons of tutorials on YouTube. But just do the best you can as being as accurate as possible. And I think key here is that you don't want to pretend like things don't happen. So this happens with one-on-one clients that like, they say they had like 2 cookies, but then they eat like 10 cookies and it comes out later. So track the 10 cookies. I'd rather have you say, I tracked 10 cookies and you learn how many calories that was, how much fat it was, how much sugar it was, than pretend like it didn't happen. Or say that you had a glass of wine when really it was more like 2 big glasses of wine. So put it in there as honestly as possible. And again, remember, this is a learning experience. There's no judgment. And I think a lot of times this is very eye-opening because you realize how much you're eating or not eating, or how certain types of food really add up and how others don't. I mean, weighing and measuring nut butter, oh my gosh, that is life-changing because like an actual tablespoon of nut butter is very small. And I can tell you I was probably having like 3 or 4 tablespoons most mornings in my oatmeal. So just to let you know. But really it is just going back to the basics and just taking your time with this. And if it takes you like a really long time the first few days, don't get discouraged. By the end of 10 days, you're gonna be a whiz at it. It really is like anything in life. You just need to learn how to do it, take your time, have patience, and just get the best data as possible. So you're tracking your food, weighing and measuring everything for 10 days. And at the end of 10 days, you're gonna find your daily average for calories. So you're not paying attention to macros, you're just tracking calories. We're keeping it simple. So write down your calorie total for each of those 10 days. So go into Myfitnesspal or whatever app, write down, 2,000 calories, 2,100 calories, but write down all 10 totals from those days. You're gonna go through the list, take out the top total, like the highest calorie total, cross that off, and then find the lowest calorie total and cross that off. We're just gonna assume those are outliers, they're gonna wreck our average, so just take them out because it happens. There's some days that we're eating like 3,000 calories and then there's days that we're eating like 1,200 calories. It just happens. It's just how we eat, and it's not like we're consistently eating the same number of calories every day. Our bodies are not robots. We need different calories each day. Different things happen each day. Energy needs. You go out to dinner. You go party with friends. Like whatever it is. Like things are kind of like up and down. And if you were being honest with your tracking, you'll probably have a day that's super high and a day that's super low. So throw out the outliers, the top, the highest and the lowest numbers, and then you'll have 8 numbers. Add up those 8 numbers, so add those up into a total and then divide by 8, and that's your average number of calories that you are consuming. So that really is your starting point. That's the state of the union. Where are you as far as your consumption? And that should be a good gauge of how much you are currently eating. So that's your starting point. Once you get that number, you are going to calculate your total daily energy expenditure. And this is how many calories your body needs. And this is based on your weight, your height, your age, your activity level as far as fitness. I use a calculator online called tdeecalculator.net, and this is all in the freebie. So if you want this all laid out nice and neat, how to do it, step 1, 2, 3, 4, grab the freebie. It walks you through it. It's like a nice little PDF, gives you all this information, gives you the link to this online calculator. There is a way to calculate it, but I just think for something like this, this is a good way to get an idea of how many calories your body needs. So your TDEE does include your activity level, so how much exercise you're doing, what your occupation is, things like that. So this is how many calories your body needs to be at maintenance. And a lot of times this number is your maintenance. So you want to take that number and compare it to your daily average. So are they the same? That would be great. You would be in maintenance. Is your TDEE way above what you're currently eating? If that's the case, you'd probably want to go on to a reverse diet. Is your daily average above your TDEE? In that case, you'd probably want to do a cut or stay where you are, focus on strength training, be in a bulk, or just go to maintenance. That's kind of like a cut, but you just cut a few calories and go to maintenance. So basically what these two numbers, where these two numbers fall, will tell you where you should go as far as your next phase of nutrition. And this is exactly what we do in the mentorship. We really help you figure out where you are going to go, and then of course figure out your calorie goals, your macros and whatnot as far as embarking on that next phase, and then teaching you what you need to do for each additional phase, because you can't be in a diet forever. You can't keep cutting calories. I mean, if you you want to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit. But what happens is women just keep cutting calories. They go from 2,000 calories to 1,700 calories to 1,400 calories to 1,200 calories, and then 900 calories to 700 calories. Like, where are you gonna go from there? There's no more calories to cut. And if you think about it, you are putting so much stress on the body. So then of course your hormones are gonna get out of whack. You're gonna have nutrient deficiencies because you're not eating enough. Your thyroid's gonna get pissed. And then you could even start gaining weight. So this whole idea of cutting calories forever, it is a disaster. So with the mentorship, we figure this out for you. We figure it out together. And like I said, like once you figure out how to do this, you have the tools, you can do this for the rest of your life. So, I mean, it really does put you in a very good place as far as dieting properly, periodizing your nutrition, planning your workouts to your nutrition. It just makes a lot of sense. But like I said, the freebie walks you through this all step by step. And it really is a good starting place. And even for somebody who has tracked macros in the past, I think this could be really, really helpful because yeah, a lot of us are just winging it. We're guessing, we're guesstimating, we're like half tracking. It could just be a good back to basics exercise for you to do. So basically that's how you do it in a nutshell. Like I said, I think it's really, really important. It is the starting point of our mentorship. And we do take it and run as far as creating that ultimate master plan. So grab the freebie. It's called 10-Day Nutrition Audit. It's in my profile. I'll include it in the show notes. And if you're interested in this mentorship, would love to have you. Like I said, it's going to be small group coaching. You can grab details for that in my profile as well, or just send me a DM. You guys know where to find me if you have questions or anything like that. All right, I have rambled on forever. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you guys soon.